Imagine this, the man you adore, absolutely captivated by you, drawn to your energy like a moth to a flame, feeling a connection so deep that he can't imagine his life without you. Today, I am going to reveal a powerful secret that makes this possible. It's not about changing who you are, chasing him, or playing games. It's about unlocking a hidden force within you that naturally makes him addicted to your presence forever. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could change your relationship forever. Everything begins with energy. Before words are spoken, before actions are taken, before even a glance is exchanged, it is energy that speaks. It's the invisible language, the unspoken vibration that radiates from you and is felt by every person you encounter, especially by someone you deeply desire to connect with. The truth is, we are all broadcasting energy at every moment, whether you are aware of it or not. You are constantly transmitting a frequency out into the world, and the people around you are responding to that signal. When you feel insecure, doubtful, or needy, that energy ripples out and touches everything you come across. Even if you smile or say the right things, the vibration underneath reveals the real story. On the other hand, when you are aligned with your worth, when you wake up in gratitude for who you are, and when you embody love, joy, and wholeness, that magnetic field around you changes dramatically. You no longer pull or push, you simply attract. He feels it. Without understanding why, he finds himself pulled toward you, intrigued, fascinated, captivated by a presence he can't quite define, but deeply craves. To change your life, to truly create a love that feels destined, you must start by mastering your energy. It is not about trying harder, it is about being more conscious. When you wake up each morning, instead of slipping into the automatic emotions of yesterday, stress, worry, loneliness, you must become deliberate. You must decide to tune your body to a new frequency before the day even begins. Sit quietly, close your eyes, feel the energy around your heart, breathe into it, expand it. Let gratitude flood every cell of your being, as if the life you dream of is already here. The brain does not know the difference between a real event and a vividly imagined one. When you embody the feeling of already being loved, already being cherished, already being desired, your energy transforms first. And once your energy shifts, your entire world begins to rearrange itself in response. This is not fantasy. This is neuroscience. When you rehearse elevated emotions, gratitude, love, joy, you fire and wire new circuits in your brain. Your body begins to believe the future is now. Your heart begins to radiate a coherent field that is measurable, powerful, and deeply magnetic. The man you seek, or the deeper connection you crave, starts being drawn to you because you have become the living embodiment of that reality. Now let us go deeper. Emotional rehearsal is one of the most powerful tools you can ever use to shape your love life. Most people are living by memory, repeating the same emotions and patterns day after day. They wake up and feel the same loneliness. They carry the same fears, and they unconsciously recreate the same unsatisfying relationship. If you want to change your experience, you must teach your body emotionally what it feels like to live in a new future. You must make the unknown more familiar than the known. Each morning, when you close your eyes and step into the quantum field of infinite possibilities, you must see yourself already living your dream, love story. Feel the joy of a partner who cherishes you, who sees you, who chooses you fully. Feel the ease, the passion, the profound trust. Bask in it until your body believes it has already happened. Because in the quantum model of reality, when you combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, you collapse time. You draw the event to you faster than any external effort could ever do. This practice is not just about wishful thinking. It is about changing the very signature of your energy field. And when you do this consistently, you stop chasing love. Love begins chasing you. The right man, the right connection, the right timing, all of it finds its way to you with a divine intelligence that surpasses logic. Think about it. If you are broadcasting the energy of loneliness, of lack, of I'm not enough, what are you attracting? More situations that confirm your unconscious beliefs. But if you shift your energy to one of wholeness, if you rise each day already feeling fulfilled, already feeling loved, you become a magnet for experiences that match that vibration. Your life becomes a mirror reflecting your inner state. And the beauty of this process is that you no longer depend on another person to feel the way you want to feel. You become sovereign, powerful, free. Love, in its purest form, starts from within. And when you no longer need love to feel whole, when you embody love itself, that is when the world and the hearts within it start moving mountains to meet you. You must remember, energy first, matter second, be it inside, and the outside will matter. Emotional rehearsal is how you hack your biology, how you train your heart to speak a new language, how you convince your mind that your dreams are not just possible, but inevitable. Every thought you think sends a chemical signal to your body. Every emotion you feel bathes your cells in a biochemical reality. If you practice the emotions of your future every single day, your body becomes the living memory of that future before it even arrives. And this is the real secret. When you fall in love with your vision more than your fear of the unknown, when you marry the feelings of your desired future more passionately than your past memories, you move from hoping love will find you to knowing love is already yours. It's just a matter of time before it materializes, because you have already become it. Through this inner alchemy, you step into a reality where love is not something you chase or earn. It is who you are. And from that elevated place, the man you seek will recognize you, not with his mind, but with his soul. Everything we experience in life is filtered through emotion. Every connection we form, every memory we cherish, every bond we build, they are all anchored in how we feel. When it comes to creating lasting love, it is not words that build unbreakable ties. It is not promises alone. It is the emotional experiences that define how someone feels when they are with you. If you can understand and master this, you hold the key to capturing a heart forever, not through control, not through need, but through the authentic energy of who you are. A man does not fall in love because you say the right thing or look a certain way. He falls in love with how he feels about himself when he is around you. If he feels inspired, if he feels seen, if he feels empowered in your presence, if he feels more alive, more hopeful, more like his highest self when you are near. That is what hooks his heart at the deepest level. This is not manipulation. It is pure creation. You become the living embodiment of a feeling he wants to experience again and again. And the beauty is, this power has always been within you. To create this, you must become deeply aware of the emotional signals you are sending. Every conversation, every glance, every interaction carries an emotional charge. When you approach him or anyone you love, not with expectation, not with hidden demands, but with true presence, with joy, with playfulness, with genuine curiosity, you trigger emotions that feel safe, expansive, and irresistible. You move from transactional connection to transformational connection. He doesn't even understand why he thinks about you when he's away. It's not logic pulling him back. It's the emotional imprint you left in his nervous system, like a beautiful song he can't stop humming. You must also understand that emotions are contagious. Your emotional state becomes the emotional environment for every relationship you create. If you embody peace, if you radiate joy, if you express authentic appreciation, your emotional field becomes a sanctuary. And people, especially men, seeking real connection, are magnetized to that sanctuary, because deep down, every human being is seeking a place where they feel alive, loved, and enough. Now it is not enough to simply know this. It must become who you are. You must rehearse the emotions of love, gratitude, appreciation, passion within yourself every single day until it becomes your natural state of being, not because of what he does, not because of what he says, but because you have chosen to anchor yourself in a higher vibration. When you do this, you take your power back. You no longer need his validation to feel loved because you are already vibrating at the frequency of love. And paradoxically, it is precisely this freedom that makes you even more magnetic to him. You must also let go of emotional addiction to the past. If your mind is anchored in old hurts, old betrayals, old disappointments, you will unconsciously project that pain into your new connections. You must become greater than your environment, greater than your history, greater than your emotions tied to the past. Emotional freedom is the foundation of new creation. When you step into each new interaction free from the burdens of yesterday, you give yourself and the relationship the chance to blossom into something extraordinary, and so to truly create a bond that becomes addictive in the most beautiful sense. Become the curator of emotional experiences. Make laughter frequent. Make appreciation a habit. Make presence your superpower. Choose joy even when circumstances invite you into fear. Choose compassion even when misunderstandings arise. Choose curiosity instead of judgment. This is the emotional landscape that draws a man's heart into your orbit and makes him never want to leave. Now let us journey even deeper into emotional leadership. The greatest leaders are not those who dominate others, but those who master themselves. Emotional leadership in a relationship means you are no longer a victim of external events. You are no longer pulled into the chaos of temporary emotion. You become the stable, radiant center around which everything else finds its rhythm. Imagine a moment of conflict where emotions run high. In that moment, most people fall into reactivity, anger, blame, withdrawal. But you, because you are conscious, because you are committed to something greater, you choose to lead emotionally. You breathe, you stay grounded, you speak with kindness, you refuse to escalate, and in doing so you create a new pattern, a new experience, a new emotional memory. This is emotional leadership. When you refuse to abandon love, even when fear tempts you to lash out. When you choose patience, when everything inside you wants to rush. When you extend grace, when the old version of you would have demanded punishment. In these moments, you are not just healing yourself, you are transforming the very foundation of your relationship. You are teaching his nervous system that you are safe, trustworthy, irreplaceable. Men, whether they are aware of it or not, are deeply sensitive to the emotional weather of their relationships. A man will bond more deeply with a woman who offers him emotional consistency than with someone who offers temporary passion followed by emotional storms. Emotional leadership is about creating an environment where the best version of both people can emerge and thrive. And here is the beautiful secret. When you lead emotionally, you don't just change your relationship, you change your future. You become a beacon of light in a world starving for authenticity, for grace, for healing. The love you create from this state is not fragile, it is not transactional, it is transformational. It expands you, it expands him, It expands everyone who touches it. Emotional leadership is not perfection. It is not about suppressing your emotions. It is about mastering them, feeling them fully, understanding them deeply, and choosing consciously how you respond. It is about becoming so familiar with elevated emotions that they become your default setting, so that even when life challenges you, you naturally rise higher. When you become the emotional leader of your life and your love, you break free from old patterns. You stop living by the memory of your past and begin living by the vision of your future. You stop reacting to the world and start creating the world. And from that elevated place, the love you attract, the man who feels your light, will not just want to be with you, he will need to be with you, because your presence becomes his peace, his inspiration, his home. There is a hidden frequency that creates unbreakable bonds, a secret force that makes someone feel seen, heard, and valued on the deepest level. And that force is presence, not just being physically there, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually there. In a world filled with endless distractions, true presence has become rare. But when you master it, you create a field around you that is unforgettable. People are starving for presence. They are aching to be truly heard, to be fully accepted without judgment, without the subtle pressure to be something other than what they are. And when you offer that, you tap into something so primal, so necessary, that it draws a person closer without you ever needing to ask. When you are present with him, really present, he feels it in his nervous system before his mind even processes it. He feels safe, he feels chosen, he feels that he matters. And in that emotional safety, a man opens up. He shows you the parts of himself that he hides from the world, not because you demand it, but because he can't help it. Presence dissolves walls. Presence is the doorway to intimacy. It is not about fixing him, not about giving advice, not about doing anything other than witnessing him with an open heart and steady eye. True presence says, I see you, I accept you, I value you exactly as you are. And that feeling, that rare emotional experience, becomes addictive. It becomes the emotional home he didn't even realize he was searching for. Presence requires discipline. It demands that you step out of your mind, out of your worries, out of your rehearsed responses. It demands that you be here now, fully alive to the moment, completely surrendered to the experience of connection. And when you practice presence, it changes not just the dynamic between you and him, but your entire energy field. Presence is a portal. It connects you to the quantum field where all possibilities exist. It aligns your body, heart, and mind into coherence. And from that space, you don't just experience love, you become love. You embody it so fully that the people around you feel it radiating from your being. Presence is not something you do, it is something you are. And the beautiful paradox is this: when you stop trying to control love, when you stop needing it to happen on your timeline, when you stop strategizing and simply sink into the fullness of the moment, love finds you effortlessly, because presence is magnetic. Presence is powerful. Presence creates emotional imprints that no amount of physical attraction can replicate. But to truly live in presence, you must master your own inner world. You must calm the storms of doubt, the waves of fear, the whispers of unworthiness. You must be willing to sit with yourself, to love yourself, to heal yourself so deeply that being present becomes your natural state. Only then can you offer true presence to another. Only then can you create a bond that transcends time, a connection so profound that it weaves itself into the very fabric of his being. As you cultivate presence, another magical transformation begins to occur. You become a source of positive emotional triggers. Emotions are powerful anchors. They tie memories to feelings, creating a deep internal map of experiences that someone wants to return to again and again. When you are the source of elevated emotions, joy, inspiration, peace, excitement. He subconsciously associates you with those feelings. You become the portal through which he experiences his best self. And that, more than anything, makes him crave your presence. You must understand, people are not addicted to other people. They are addicted to how they feel in the presence of certain people. If you are consistently the person who triggers elevated emotions, if you are the one who inspires hope when he feels discouraged, who ignites laughter when he feels burdened, who reflects his highest self when he feels lost, then you become not just a partner, but an emotional sanctuary. This is not about becoming a performer or pretending to be happy all the time. It is about doing the inner work to live predominantly in elevated states, yourself. It is about choosing to embody gratitude even when fear tries to creep in. It is about nurturing joy even when life challenges you. It is about practicing unconditional love, starting with yourself so deeply that it overflows into every interaction you have. Positive emotional triggers are created through simple, powerful moments. A genuine compliment at the right time, a playful tease that brings out his laughter, a moment of deep eye contact that says more than words ever could, a spontaneous adventure that breaks the monotony of daily life, a tender touch when words are unnecessary. Each of these small moments builds a library of positive emotional associations within him, a network of memories and feelings that become entwined with you. And the beauty of this work is that it is cumulative. Each time you evoke a positive emotional state, it strengthens the neural pathways connecting you in his mind and heart. It makes him not just think about you, but feel you even when you're apart. Over time, these emotional experiences weave themselves into the story he tells himself about his life, and you become an essential, irreplaceable part of that story. By becoming the source of elevated emotions, by living as the embodiment of presence, you shift from trying to force love into your life to effortlessly attracting it. You align yourself with the natural laws of creation, where energy begets energy, and love flows not from lack, but from wholeness. This is the true secret. You do not seek love outside of yourself. You generate it within yourself so powerfully that the outer world cannot help but mirror it back to you. The work is not always easy. It requires awareness. It requires dedication. It requires choosing love over fear, again and again. But as you walk this path, you will find that you no longer have to ask for loyalty, attention, or commitment. They come naturally because you have become the living, breathing vibration of the love you seek. The reality we experience in love and relationships is not random. It is created moment by moment through the thoughts we think, the emotions we feel, and the energy we broadcast. If you want to create a connection so powerful that it draws someone to you, not just temporarily, but permanently, you must become the conscious creator of your reality. You must decide, with every fiber of your being, that you will not settle for the recycled emotions of the past. You must step boldly into a new future, one where love is abundant, where connection is sacred, where you are cherished not because you demanded it, but because you became the living embodiment of it. The truth is, most people are unconsciously repeating the same emotional patterns, expecting a different result. They carry the energy of disappointment, betrayal, fear, and lack into every new interaction. And the field responds, the people they attract, the experiences they have, all mirror that internal state. If you want a love that is extraordinary, you must elevate your internal reality first. You must begin each day by aligning your mind and heart with the future you wish to experience, not the past you wish to escape. This is where true creation begins. You must close your eyes and rehearse the emotions of love, joy, gratitude, fulfillment, as if they were already present in your life. You must feel them so deeply that your brain and body begin to believe you are already living in that future. And when your internal state no longer matches the memories of the past, but resonates with the vision of your desired future, you begin to collapse time. You draw that reality to you, not through force, but through resonance. Imagine waking up each morning, and instead of replaying the old stories of hurt and lack, you consciously choose to write a new narrative. You see yourself loved deeply, cherished endlessly. You feel the emotions of that love so vividly that your entire being vibrates at a new frequency. And because your energy is your broadcast to the field, the people you attract, the experiences you create, will align with that vibration. You become a magnet for the love you have already created within. But creation is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. It requires vigilance. It requires catching the old thoughts when they arise, the doubts, the fears, the cynicism, and choosing to replace them with the vision of your future. It requires emotional discipline to stay loyal to your vision, even when the outer world has not yet caught up. Because when you live more by the emotions of your future than the emotions of your past, you signal to the universe that you are no longer the old self. You are the new self, living in a new timeline, attracting new experiences by law. And when you meet someone from this elevated state, when you are no longer seeking love to fill a void, but sharing love from your overflow, the entire dynamic changes. You are no longer needy. You are no longer attached to outcomes. You are free. And in that freedom, true love flourishes. Because the highest form of love is not rooted in fear or control. It is rooted in freedom, expansion, and the shared creation of a greater whole. As you practice creating your future emotionally, you will notice that certain old behaviors, old relationships, old ways of being will begin to fall away. Let them. They are not aligned with the new reality you are creating. Stay faithful to your vision, even when it feels lonely, even when the evidence hasn't shown up yet. Faith is the bridge between your present reality and your future destiny. Now let's move even deeper into the power of energy. Everything is energy. Your thoughts, your feelings, your body, your actions, all vibrate at a certain frequency. When you shift your energy, you shift your entire experience of life. If you want him to feel magnetically drawn to you, if you want him to think about you, miss you, crave your presence, even when you are not around, it begins with the energy you emit. Energy cannot lie. You can say all the right words, perform all the right actions, but if your energy is desperate, anxious, fearful, it will be felt on a subconscious level. Conversely, if your energy is peaceful, confident, radiant, it too will be felt, and it will draw others to you effortlessly. You don't have to chase love. You have to become love. You don't have to convince him to see your worth. You have to embody your worth so completely that it is undeniable. When your energy is elevated, you become unforgettable. You imprint on his subconscious mind, not just through your words or your beauty, but through the emotional and energetic experience he has with you. He remembers how he feels when he is with you. He remembers the peace, the excitement, the inspiration. These are not things you can fake. They must be cultivated from within. One of the most powerful ways to elevate your energy is through daily practices of gratitude, heart coherence, and emotional rehearsal. Spend time each day feeling gratitude for the love you are already creating. Feel it in your heart, expand it outward until it fills the room. Imagine sending that energy out into the quantum field, like a beacon calling your future to you. When you walk into a room, do so with the energy of someone who knows she is loved, who knows she is worthy, who knows she is creating her destiny with every thought, every feeling, every breath. This energy speaks louder than words. It moves through space and time. It calls the right person to you without effort. Energy is the language of the soul. When you master your energy, you master your life. You no longer live by chance. You live by creation. You no longer beg for love. You become so magnetic that love cannot help but find you. You are no longer a seeker. You are a creator. And the love you attract from this elevated state will not be fragile, conditional, or fleeting. It will be a reflection of the powerful, radiant being you have become. There is a simple but profound truth about relationships that few people ever fully grasp. It's not the big moments, not the grand gestures that sustain connection. It's the consistent and intentional emotional investment over time that builds something unshakable. If you want to create a bond that lasts, that grows stronger in the face of life's inevitable storms, you must choose to nurture it daily, not reactively when things begin to fall apart. You must become a conscious gardener of connection, tending to it with love, patience, and deliberate action. This is the powerful secret. Consistency creates security, and security is what allows love to not just survive, but to thrive. When you show up with emotional consistency, when your words match your actions, when your affection is reliable, when your presence is steady, you become the anchor in someone's world. You become the safe harbor in a chaotic sea. You create an environment where trust can deepen naturally because you are no longer operating from the volatile ups and downs of unconscious emotional patterns. You are operating from the steady, coherent field of a conscious creator. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's not about never having a bad day or a moment of fear. It's about the overall pattern you create with your energy. It's about being someone whose intentions are clear, whose love is dependable, whose actions align with their deepest truths. And in a world where so many people have been hurt, disappointed, or betrayed, this kind of consistency becomes rare. It becomes precious. It becomes magnetic. Imagine what happens to a man's nervous system when he consistently feels your warmth, your respect, your genuine care day after day, week after week, over time. Those emotional experiences wire into his brain. They create emotional safety, the foundation upon which deeper intimacy can be built. He begins to associate you not just with attraction, but with home, with peace, with fulfillment. And once a man feels that on a soul level, leaving becomes unthinkable. Not because he is trapped, but because he is nurtured in a way the world rarely offers. Consistency also builds an emotional resilience within the relationship. When challenges arise, and they will, the emotional foundation you have built can absorb the shock. Disagreements do not tear you apart because the overall energy of the relationship is one of trust, mutual respect, and understanding. You have built emotional equity through your consistent investment, and that investment pays dividends over time. But the deeper layer to consistency is energetic coherence. It is about living in alignment with your highest self so that you are not ruled by the unconscious triggers of fear, insecurity, or anger. It is about choosing again and again to respond rather than react, to love rather than to defend, to connect rather than to withdraw. This level of mastery requires emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and a commitment to growth. It is not always easy, but it is always worth it. And there is a beautiful paradox that begins to unfold. The more you practice emotional consistency, the more you solidify your own inner world. You become someone who is grounded not because the outer world is stable, but because you have cultivated inner stability. You become someone who is attractive, not just because of what you say or do, but because of who you are being at the deepest level. Now let's move into the next powerful principle, celebration. Most people wait for special occasions to celebrate love, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. But if you want to create a relationship that feels extraordinary, you must learn to celebrate love daily. You must learn to recognize and appreciate the small moments, the tiny victories, the everyday miracles that so many overlook. When you choose to celebrate him not in a superficial performative way, but in a genuine heart-centered way, you awaken the best in him. You reflect back to him the parts of himself that he is proud of, but that the world so often ignores. And in doing so, you create an emotional feedback loop that strengthens the bond between you. Celebration is emotional nourishment. It tells him, I see you, I appreciate you. I value what you bring into my life. And every time you offer that celebration authentically, you deposit emotional wealth into the relationship. You make him feel like he matters. You make him feel seen, not just for what he does, but for who he is. And that kind of emotional experience becomes unforgettable. Celebration can be as simple as a sincere thank you, a spontaneous kiss, a note left in his pocket, a look of admiration when he shares his dreams with you. It's about catching the good and amplifying it, about focusing your attention not on what's missing or wrong, but on what's beautiful and right. Energy flows where attention goes. The more you focus on what you appreciate, the more you create an environment where love naturally flourishes. But here's the deeper transformation that occurs. When you live in a state of celebration, you rewire your own brain for joy, gratitude, and abundance. You train yourself to see the best, not only in him, but in yourself and in life itself. And that energy, that radiant, grateful energy, is magnetic. It draws even more blessings into your experience. Celebration is a choice. It is a practice. It is a way of being that elevates not only your relationships, but your entire existence. It invites you to step out of the survival emotions of fear, resentment, and judgment, and into the elevated emotions of appreciation, joy, and love. And from that elevated state, you become not just a partner, but an inspiration. You become the living example of what is possible when two souls meet in the energy of conscious creation, rather than unconscious reaction. When you celebrate love daily, when you invest emotional consistency into your connection, you are no longer hoping for love to last. You are actively building it, moment by moment, choice by choice, thought by thought. You are living as the creator of your reality, sculpting a relationship that is not ordinary but extraordinary. You are choosing to participate in the grand, beautiful experiment of love at the highest level of consciousness. Now, I would love to hear from you. What resonated most with you today? Have you tried any of these secrets before? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends who could use a little relationship magic, and hit that subscribe button to stay connected to our amazing community. Also, I'm planning new topics just for you. Tell me in the comments what love, relationship, or personal growth topics you want me to dive into next. Stay radiant, stay powerful, and remember, the best love story starts with you. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss the secrets that change lives.